ACC teams have met in the tournament at any stage since '83 in Ralph Sampson's final college game.
Against Jerry Wittenberg in NC State. And finally, Shane Battier says, I had an open look from 3. One of those patented runs. You get a feel for Duke coming right here, and they'd like, and if you're Mike Krzyzewski, you'd like to have it take place before the half.
You know there's one coming. I mean, there's just too much of a track record in the first 3 games for them not to be.
That was not a good shot by Dixon. Nobody under, not expecting it.
Duhan, nice, but taken away by Martisic. And the Terps run it out. Holden.
Oh, Battier got a piece of that ball.
Back to Dixon off the glass.
Beautiful gliding shot right there. And one of the things that Duhan will have to learn is you can throw passes inside to Boozer, who has decent hands, but Sanders cannot catch that ball on the move. So he makes a good pass, but to the wrong person. And you see what Dunleavy just did the same thing there. Casey, you're not the recipient of that kind of pass.
Battier is, and he delivers.
There's the difference. You've got to take in consideration who's the receiver if you're a good passer. Little turnaround right here for Duke University.
A 22-point lead at one time, trimmed to 13. Blake past Duhan to the corner. Holden. Charge.
Battier with a tremendous recovery on that play. He is so intelligent as a basketball player.
I don't think there's ever been anyone better at college basketball at drawing the charge. He's done it again. Timeout on the floor. Gary Williams was a 3-year starting point guard at Maryland. Snuck into his first Final Four when it was played at Cole Fieldhouse back in 1966.
Saw a pretty good game.
Yes, he did.
Game.
Texas Western over Kentucky. Brought back to his alma mater by then athletic director Lou Perkins to revive the program that was on life support. And a call against the Terps.
Jim, I really wondered why Gary Williams came out of that timeout without getting his starters on the floor. With 2:45 to go, you have got a whole halftime to get yourself rested. And I thought he was really taking a chance, but immediately he gets Morris and Baxter back in there because you don't want this run to take place by Duke University. And Holden, a very valuable scorer, gets his 3rd foul here in the first half.
1-1 for Battier. First to ever be so honored as the Naismith High School and College Player of the Year, and the 10th Duke player ever to have his jersey retired. But he did have his senior day, the final home game of his career, spoiled by Maryland. February the 27th, the Terps won at Cameron, the 2nd straight year. 16-5 Duke run.
Nice reverse dribble by Dixon, but he's caught in the corner and nobody's coming to help him out. There are those great hands by Baxter.
Boy, did he shuffle the feet? Some people thought he had.
Oh, Duhan has to be careful.
It's going against him. Coming up, singular at the half. Greg, Clark, and Bill will have the first half analysis, and they'll be joined on the set by Lute Olson, whose Wildcats will compete for the championship Monday night, all coming up on singular at the half.
And Jim, there you see Lute Olson, terrific job in the first game. Jim, that play that we just saw there is so amazing when you've got a big guy that can catch a ball. It seems like such an easy, fundamental thing to do. But instead of it being a turnover to a guy who can't catch the ball, it turns out to be a Maryland opportunity to get 2 on the foul line. Big, big difference.
Baxter hits 2. He termed it as a desperate situation when they played Stanford in the West Final to get to the Final Four. He said, we were desperate.
And there's Jason Williams, actually turned that ball over, got lucky, cheap foul called. Williams really out of sync in this first half. We have seen him play better than anybody in the NCAA tournament coming into the Final Four. He hasn't had much going right in this first half, however.
Second on Morris. And Williams, look at his point totals. Didn't have to play many minutes against Monmouth. Back-to-back 30-point games. Missouri, UCLA. First Duke player to do that in the NCAA since Jeff Mullins. And in 28 against USC.
And he had that 19 points run in a row. I'm not talking about as a Duke team. We're talking about as Jason Williams individually. Put on quite a show. Probably the only time he bettered that all year is those 8 points in 14 seconds against Maryland.
As soon as Blake fouled out of the game in round 1 of what is now round 4 of the Maryland-Duke series on the season.
Good solid rebound by Morris against Battier there.
A tug on the ear by Blake.
Looking for maybe a little pick and roll action for Morris. He's got a small man on him, takes advantage.
Blake, shuffled the feet before he put it on the floor.
Boy, Maryland had exactly what they wanted that time. Big on little because of the pick and roll situation, and Morris doesn't get a chance to take advantage.
Wilcox from the state of North Carolina, from Raleigh. 6'10" freshman who's going to be a good one.
He really is, and it shows again the depth that this team has in the front court.
11 turnovers for the Terrapins, yet they lead by 12. Inside Boozer.
A big man who can catch.
Timeout, Maryland.
Amazing how this very subtle comeback taking place by Duke University. Not one of their patent runs, but solid.
The comeback fueled by, among others, Carlos Boozer. It's down to 10. Thing about playing in Monday night championship games. Ederson, a part of that title team for sure back in '97. Baxter. Morris may have gotten away with one over the back. It would have been his third.
Nate James coming up with some solid performance here in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Again, they're attacking that jump shot.
Duhan had the 3 and tried to step in for the 2.
Delayed call. This first half, Jim, I've got to say, is very poorly officiated for both teams. Gary Williams can't believe it, neither can Baxter.
Baxter's second.
The officials are really out of sync in this ball game. Duhan goes in. Baxter makes a little touch. The foul is called late after Baxter actually had the rebound.
But he did put his hands on him that time.
He did.
So 2 for Duhan, who really started in that East Final, hitting some huge threes in the second half to shake off USC. A great run by Henry Bibby and the Trojans. A regional final, I might add, that Shane Battier predicted selection night. Said, we're going to see, told his teammates, USC in that final 8. And he also told Battier, Juan Dixon in Atlanta after that game against Maryland, we'll see you in Minneapolis.
Blake putting it out in front of Duhan. Duhan almost getting a piece of that ball a couple times. Nice crossover dribble, but a bad shot.
But Baxter retrieves.
Boozer doing a good job in there. Williams just doesn't seem confident to be able to go by Blake. Blake doesn't have the quickest feet, but he just stays in front of him all the time.
It's not the same player from the first 4 games of this tournament.
It is really amazing how he can look him right in the gut. Oh, there's a crossover. Finally, nothing there.
Boozer with those strong hands, and a call on Morris. It'll be his 3rd.
It is amazing how this game is getting away from Maryland. They can't get anything structured. They've gotten out of their offense, taking some quick shots, and they're not turning that ball over the way they were earlier.
Maryland led at the 7-minute mark, 39-17.
Carlos Boozer, when he got injured against Maryland, he had 16 points, 7 rebounds, and Duke was in the lead in that game. But when he went down with that foot injury, Maryland took the game and just took it over in Carmichael. There's Williams sitting down again.
And Morris going out with his 3 fouls, so Wilcox and Martisic in for Maryland. Last 30 seconds.
Good move by Mike Krzyzewski, not wanting Jason Williams to pick up a cheap foul.
Boozer 0 for 2, but James has made some significant plays until that pass.
The ACC's #1 man in steals. Dixon picks it off.
They can take the final shot. He knows it. Very steady.
James cannot stay with Dixon quickness-wise, and Dixon knows that. He wants a clear out.
Makes his move. No, he'll take the 3.
What a shot. What a huge turnaround. Duke would have had the last shot with an opportunity to close into the lead. Dixon, the leader he is, handles it. Boy, he backed James off. He's too quick for James, can go around him and pulls up with a huge three.
What did they do yesterday during their practice here? They stood around as a team and shot from mid-court. Let's go over to Art McIntyre.
Thanks, Jim. Gary, big start by you, fast finish by Duke. How do you turn it around?
Well, we're up 11. We don't have to turn it around. We have to keep playing. To be up 11 at halftime against a team like Duke is a great half.
First, when Morris got into foul trouble. So he stole some minutes with Wilcox.
Inside play you were calling for, Billy, and it's Boozer delivering. You said that's what they're going to have to go to in this half.
That's right. They go down inside with the power game, so they stole some minutes with Sanders. Both coaches here looking for a game that they think is going down the wire and trying to save as much as they can on that bench. Boy, Baxter's got to realize Boozer's trying to help out a lot. Baxter can get open underneath the basket.
5 on the shot clock. Holden.
Great shot, touch.
Mouton, he has had a very active game. It's going to be a charge against Mouton of Maryland.
Nice job by Jason Williams. Realizing he had a man against him that was bigger, he just held his ground.
Second on Mouton.
There's Jason Williams holding his ground with his feet. Nice job.
Back inside Minneapolis's Metrodome Gymnance, Billy Packer with the singular sky cam. And no question really, Billy, before today, the highest profile program never to be in a Final Four. Maryland leading over Duke. James trying to slice it to one.
Nice rebound by Dixon over Duhan.
Dixon speeds past Boozer, gets bumped from behind. It looked like he was passing. Will they say he was in the act of shooting?
No, I think he was passing the ball. I think the official's all over that. He gets hit from behind, but he was making the pass. He's trying to work it, but the official doesn't get the call.
He is the leading free throw shooter in the ACC. You mentioned earlier, tops in the league in steals, too. Second one on Boozer.
There's that man-to-man out-of-bounds situation, and that time, I mean, the zone out of bounds, and Duke plays a lot better.
And rejected by Battier. Again, stepping up defensively. Williams, stutter step move under the basket, gets to spin.
There's Jason Williams. So tough when he uses that hesitation dribble. Borders on a carry, gets by with it.
His first field goal in exactly 20 minutes on the game clock.
He was 1 for 9 up to that point. Duke only 3 for 17 from 3. Here he goes, turning that corner. Slides underneath, uses a rim, beautiful.
Blake, the other point guard, answers.
What Duhan is trying to do, Jim, is steal the ball from Blake too much instead of what Blake is doing to Williams, which is keeping his body and feet right squared up and in front of him. Duhan's got to play more solidly or Blake will eat him up. Kick out, kick out.
Yep, Duhan over Dixon. And stepping in is Williams to slam it home.
Just as we saw Sanders stand and reach for the ball, that's what happened to 2 Maryland players on that possession. You have got to go get to it. Miller coming in. Now see if Duhan will now start to play more solidly. He's always reaching for the ball, and that's getting him in trouble.
Holden, Dixon challenges the big bodies, no whistle. Baxter, Battier, all ball, and the arrow belongs to Duke.
How about that block, Jim? 2 hands on the ball. Great timing by Battier. He is a brilliant defender. This is a sensational defensive play. All ball with 2 hands.
Right hand was in there a little bit, but beautiful with the left.
If the hand is on the ball, the hand and the ball are one and the same, Jim.
3 blocks for Battier. Not until tomorrow will they announce the National Defensive Player of the Year. And if he's not the man, there's still time to maybe change that vote. How can you not? 3rd straight year it'll be for Battier, no doubt.
Williams
and Baxter rejects.
Good hands.
Williams saves it, and it's Duke ball.
He threw it off Miller's body. Smart play by Jason because he knew if he threw the ball back out on the court, it would be like a pass we saw Michigan State doing all day, cross court in the back court, which would lead to an easy basket.
Only 7 on the shot clock. No reset here.
Solid screen by Boozer for Jason Williams. Blake understands that. He doesn't want Jason to get the ball.
From 22 down, to tie the game? No. Baxter pulls it away for the Terrapins.
They tried to use Williams as a decoy on that play.
Holden over Battier. Not close. Miller heads up off James.
Well, Miller just saw what it felt like for Jason Williams to do it on the other end of the floor.
Dunleavy and Sanders back for Duke. Dunleavy and Sanders.
And you got to figure, trying to keep Boozer fresh. You know, Williams is coming out of this game a lot. You wonder if maybe he's a little under the weather. This is not like Mike to be putting him down that much. He has played some games where he'll play up in a 40-minute style.
Dixon traveling? Yes. Martisic in for Maryland. The senior, again, played in more games than any Terrapin ever, 136. If Maryland wins today, it would be his 100th victory. No one's had more wins in that school's very big basketball history, although that history never included a Final Four before today. Battier,
Tough shot.
would have given him the lead, and Blake comes out with it quickly.
Dixon's open.
Martisic taps it in, back up to 4.
That's where I thought Gary Williams would go when he had to go with Morris on that bench. Let a senior who looked like he was pretty aggressive in the first half get some playing time. He went with Wilcox, and it didn't cost him too much. I mentioned back to Williams again. He played 39 minutes against Missouri, 37 against Southern California. He's been sitting down a lot in this game.
And he's about to check back in again. Oh, gets it to go, and he's going to the line.
Good play by Duhan, knowing he had his man in the air. That shot went up, not worried about making it, but drawing the foul. And it goes for him anyway. He's got Blake in the air. That's why I said earlier, Blake cannot afford to get any cheap fouls because he has such responsibility defensively against the likes of Duhan and Williams.
That's just like Blake's last foul, too, except that one wasn't any act of shooting. He just comes colliding down with the Blue Devil, and Duhan can bring it back to 1.
You get the feeling these two teams could play for a month of Sundays, and it would still be a close game no matter who gets a good run. A lot of mutual respect, but it's amazing. They've scouted each other and played against each other so much that they know exactly what the tendencies are.
Williams in for Duhan. Nicholas handling the ball for Maryland is like Juan Dixon said this week, we bring out the best in each other. Here he is. Dixon had that huge first half. Nicholas. Martisic, his second basket since coming back in.
Got the big body. We're talking about a guy with 4 majors, great grades, and playing a fine basketball game.
Dixon on the reach. And his second. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Jason Williams.
Jason is in this second half changing his game somewhat, taking the ball right all the way to the basket now, trying to get on that foul line. He realizes they're trying to take away his outside jump shot, so he's penetrating to the hoop. Still having trouble with the foul shots, however. And when you think of this Duke team, they broke the national record this year, 391 threes, breaking that Arkansas record of 365 way back in 95, but Maryland has taken them away from the three-point line today.
We've got the under 12 timeout. Is there any doubt? Maryland and Duke are coming down to the wire again. 2-point game, second half.
But I'm going to the war.
In a time when war raged around them, they believed in their hopes, their dreams.
Does anyone think that victory is possible without facing danger?
And in the safety of America's borders.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was attacked by the Empire of Japan.
This Memorial Day, witness their courage and their glory.
In times like these, we all need to be reminded who we truly are, that we will not give up or give in.
Pearl Harbor, rated PG-13, starts Friday, May 25th. at theaters everywhere.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
The new version of Oracle will make your website 3 times faster, or we'll give you $1 million.
Bring in your appetite, people. Applebee's all-you-can-eat riblets are back. Our one-of-a-kind smoked riblets. All you can eat. It's got to be Applebee's. Eating good, eating good in the neighborhood.
Why is CSI the hottest new drama on television?
I'm gonna get you for murder. Cool?
Find out CBS Thursday after Survivor.
Our Chevy truck's eye vision, Billy.
Well, here we see the eye on Shane Battier. You can watch him coming all the way across the lane to come up with an incredible block. Time after time, he has really taken away points that Maryland thought they already had on the scoreboard, Jim, with great defensive play. Here's a double team for the first time by Duke in the backcourt.
Tough pass pulled down by Holden, and they get it across with 2 seconds to spare. Duke is on a 45-25 stretch since being down 22 in the first half.
This is about the longest time period of a comeback, though, I've seen. Good job by Nichols.
On the drive, back up to 4.
Every time Duke seems to get it down to a point where they can take the lead, somebody from Maryland comes back and does a good job. Now here Maryland, for the first time, going zone.
Williams, player in his face, front of the rim.
And they are taking away his three-point shot the whole game. Dixon doesn't mind taking it to the hoop.
Blocked by Dunleavy. Dixon back up with it. And Battier over to Boozer.
Jason does not have the numbers.
Outside, James has the shot.
Good block out by Bartosic. He took Boozer right away. Duke having all kinds of problems from 3. This year against Maryland, they took 97 threes prior to this time, made 32 of them. But today they can't find the mark because Maryland's playing them tight at the 3-point line.
And there was a foul there on James. Before the shot, test your knowledge of tournament trivia and participate in live polls through this interactive telecast available on Ultimate TV. I'll tell you how far off Duke is with its threes. 4 of 20 for the game. Meanwhile, at the other end, there's a 3 by Juan Dixon.
Jim, what Duke can do to get some three-point shots, now that's not a good one either. What they can do to get three-point shots is to penetrate, force the defense to play them inside, and then kick out. What they're trying to do is to get it with just rotation passes, or like we saw Duhan do there, coming off the dribble right down court with nobody inside. Bad play by the freshman.
3rd on Boozer. Dixon's shot a moment ago, his first points of the second half.
Good switch by Battier. Nicholas should go get the ball back. He's got Battier on him.
Dixon wants it, has the feeling. Not this time. Holden gets it back to him, though. This is the one he just hit. And Battier with the 2 hands secures it.
Nice job by Nicholas, realizing that his team was not in good defensive position. Got back so that Duke couldn't get the numbers on the fast break. And there they are in the 1-2-2 zone. Bartosic and Holden down inside.
Battier's 3. Yes.
And Bartosic not quick enough and did not anticipate quick enough that Battier's out on the side. It's amazing how that Maryland can play the 3 much better from their man-to-man. Battier just went out and extended the zone.
Nicholas, second time, over the back. Holden 4th. The 4th on Holden.
Look at Battier leading his team down the floor running, trying to show Maryland that we've got more left in our tank than you do yours. Good leadership there.
It'll be a 1-1 at the other end. They're playing for the right to take on Arizona Monday night in Minneapolis for the national championship. 80-61 victory today over Michigan State.
Jim, that's like teams in football in that fourth quarter run down to the other end and say, you know what? We've got the gas. You don't have it.
Absolute mind game.
Yes, it is.
And missing the front end of it, Battier.
Williams anticipating the pass.
Nicholas bounces it in. And going to the line will be Holden.
Boy, Holden has such great hands on the inside. He is going to be some player for Maryland. One of those kind of guys, not heavily recruited. Some people thought in high school he was too soft to play in a league like the ACC, but he's working on his game, and you can really anticipate this guy being a major factor in college basketball.
From the Jersey Shore, from Red Bank Regional High School, sophomore Taj Holden will shoot 2.
Well, this young man, Jim, coming into the Final Four, was 20 for 31, 65% in his last 7 games. So it shows you the lift that Maryland got off the bench from him.
Hit big threes against Stanford, 3 of them, as they took out the 1 seed in the West in that regional final. 0 for 2 here. And Sanders tips it over to Battier. 4-point deficit for Duke.
And they stay in the zone. 1-2-2 with Miller out on top. Jason Williams has got to penetrate with the dribble and get it inside and then kick out.
What's it going to be? It's a charge on Battier, his second.
I'm really surprised that Duke has not recognized what's available in this game. There's Battier on the drive, but he's got to look to pass out. But it's too late.
Now look at Holden step in there with 4 fouls and draw.
But he knows this, Jim. He's got men on the bench. Morris has been out for a long time. Wilcox back there. You can see Gary Williams trying to save as many minutes as he can. Well, he comes back with Morris at the 7-minute mark. There's that turnover.
And Battier's charge, by the way, goes in the books as a turnover, which is the first turnover of the half for the Blue Devils, who certainly made a lot of miscues early in this game, but 4 straight possessions, but certainly simmered down ever since. Only 6 for the game. Williams
tried to create an extra arch on that ball to get it over the top.
Duhan steps in, Maryland ball.
Again, Duke University throwing the ball around on the perimeter instead of getting penetration inside with kickouts to get much better looks from 3.
So Dixon returns.
I'm wondering when Morris is going to come back in this ball game, Jim, for Maryland to get more experience on the floor. Smart play by Dixon. He's got Dunleavy. He's quicker than Dunleavy and wants to take him.
And a switch. He's got Battier on him now. Spin move on him. Right into the hands of Sanders. Nowhere to go.
Shows you the versatility of Battier defensively, taking on a guard that's that quick.
Battier, wow, out there. As long as you'll see. That was Dixon proportions at the end of the first half.
That was almost like Maryland was trying at halftime at the end of practice yesterday. Or at half court, rather. Miller not going to get by with that.
1-point game, and Duhan with the reach.
You just get the feeling that Duke is ready to get control of the lead, and every time there's a play that just doesn't quite work out. There's the good penetration kick out.
Block with his defense.
Another block. Young man with 5 straight 20-point games in the NCAA tournament. Doing it again today.
Actually, 6. You go back to last year. He's got 5 straight double-doubles, too. 1-on-1 with Miller. And former McDonald's High School All-America. He'll shoot 1 more. Former South Jersey Player of the Year. Did you even recognize basketball, by the way, the other night in that McDonald's All-America game, Billy? What was that I was watching?
Well, it wasn't the sport that's normally played in that arena, I can tell you that.
Was Ed Cameron. Battier trying to bring back the Devils. Maryland trying to hold them off.
Hello, baby. Sure glad to have Chevy. We'll be there.
She just doesn't understand me.
What's to understand? I mean, what is that, Michael?
Is that what you think I sound like?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, do you use a cellular phone? What's come between you two is static. Here, Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so your calls are clear.
Thank you.
Sprint PCS, 1,200 minutes, all with nationwide long distance.
Fair to say you underestimated the market.
Right on.
Rolling Stone raves, Blow will knock your eyes out. It scorches the screen with a bravado all its own. Smart, sexy, funny, and dangerous. This high-wire act is a movie and a half.
I'm great at what I do, Dad.
Let me tell you something, George. You have been great at anything.
Blow is touched by greatness.
How much bigger can we get?
Sky's the limit.
Blow, rated R. Starts Friday, April 6th.
When a college drinking game went too far, this freshman died. But this time, 6 fraternity brothers could go to jail. 48 hours, Tuesday.
It's been a wild one, as expected here, the national semifinals. Jim Nance and Billy Packer with you, and just when it seems like Duke might be ready to take the lead, Maryland's able to push it back up to 6 or 7, but it's 3 right now, under 8 minutes to play.
Jim, the key for Duke University, I think, if they're going to make this comeback, they're only 6 for 24 from 3. And the reason for it is Maryland's design defensively is to take away the three-point shot for Duke. Duke has got to figure out ways to get back into the three-point game.
They've taken the 3 away from Williams, that's for sure. He's 0 for 7.
Boozer sealing inside.
Battier's hit a couple, though, in recent trips. Inside, Boozer slams it home, down to 1 for the third time, Billy.
There's the difference with Boozer on the inside, that low post presence. Sanders can't make that play.
3 different times they've cut it to 1. From 22 to 1. Miller guns a 3.
Don't like the shot, but I like that rebound.
Baxter inside, it'll reach in.
We just saw the difference between having bulky guys that can catch the ball. Just a great rebound by Baxter inside. You wonder what Miller's doing taking that shot. And here is Baxter, who was the outstanding player in the West Regional against big centers. I mean, the Collins brothers couldn't handle it.
In the 71 points, that's with 2 points in the George Mason game.
Right, and breaks a new Maryland record for NCAA tournament play, beating the great John Lucas's 70.
Morris comes back with his 4 fouls, but significant moment there just on that foul. It was the 4th on Boozer, who stays in.
Well, remember, Boozer did not play at all in the ACC tournament game, which Duke won by 2 against Maryland. Little full court pressure. And with Morris back in, they go man-to-man.
And there, Williams gives Duke the lead, 73-72, with his first 3 of the game.
Very important half-court set now for Duke University. Battier battles for a rebound.
It was Nicholas in there trying to keep it alive. The arrow belongs to Maryland.
Great timing by Battier.
Sunday on CBS, 60 Minutes, Touched by an Angel, then Mark Harmon and Rachel Ward in the movie And Never Let Her Go. How will Maryland now handle this with...
First thing I'd do is go inside to Baxter and get Boozer out of the game if possible with his 5th foul. Because Boozer gives Duke University something they don't have.
Inbounds pass to Morris.
Second time today against it. In an inbound situation, Maryland scores. And there again, Blake staying in front of Williams.
Williams was still able to weave his way to regain the lead.
Again, let's see if they'll go ahead and make Boozer play Baxter inside. wanted the lob, but a good job by Duhan getting back to cut that off. Blake, back to the corner. Miller, open look. Baxter again on the offensive glass. Finally, Boozer clears. No numbers. Doesn't even be smart to pull this back out. Charge. What is he thinking? Has no place to go. Mike Krzyzewski can't believe it either. No numbers for Duke. If you want possession, you've got a 1-point lead. Bring that ball back out. The son of a coach making a mistake there.
And he heads to the bench along with Boozer. Nate James back on the floor. Casey Sanders. Morris. Back and forth we go. Maryland with the lead with 5.5 to play.
There goes to show you that a mental mistake can hurt as much as a physical. Duke gives up an opportunity to have the ball and the lead with a mistake.
Williams again wants it all the way and draws the foul.
Goes down hard, and what he's doing right now is challenging Blake every time he touches the ball.
CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Field goal percentages by half. Look how they've reversed. For complete Final Four coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. 2 shots for Williams.
You talk about field goal shooting percentages. In the 3 games prior to this one, Duke has been outshot by Maryland 49% to 38%. But again, we get back to Duke finding some way to win a game.
That one ties it.
Crowd very silent right here. Not really believing the way they found Duke so far behind early in this ball game. And maybe still a little shocked from how well Arizona played in the first game.
On the line, Maryland ball. You can look at that clock, and we have essentially a 5-minute overtime here to decide who will play Arizona Monday night.
They've done that before as well. First game at Maryland.
And that was when Duke made the 10-point comeback with 54 seconds to play when this man with the ball fouled out, and Williams took over with an 8-point stretch in 14 seconds. And Morris getting some very good play here.
He really is, and he's got 4 fouls on him, Jim, and doing these plays, making some great offensive low-post moves. Sanders trying to come over to help out Battier. Good job by Morris.
Third on Battier, a senior, and a senior goes to the line. Just 2 years ago as a sophomore. This man, Morris, was just the 4th Maryland player to make All-ACC as a sophomore, joining Tom McMillan, John Lucas, Joe Smith. So many of the old Terrapins have come back to the Final Four here for a reunion since the program's never experienced it before. Players like McMillan.
Well, Jim, you've got to remember that back in the days that they played, only one team from a given conference could go into the NCAA tournament. And the incredible game that's still remembered as the best ever played in that league. The 103-100 overtime loss to NC State in 1974, where Maryland was probably, at the worst, the 3rd best team in the country. They could never get over the hump against the NC State, David Thompson, Tommy Burleson club, so they never got into the NCAA tournament.
Guys who never got to this point, and a push off on Baxter, who are living this experience vicariously today. Names like Mo Howard and Jim O'Brien and Owen Brown.
How about Lefty Drizel?
Lefty Drizel, Lenny Elmore.
You know, that game actually changed the concept of the NCAA tournament, because after that time, they decided to say it's not fair for only one team to go from a given conference. And so what we see right now are the multiple teams. And surprisingly, Jim, in this tournament, ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-10, the 3 top conferences winning percentage in the NCAA tournament, all here on this floor today.
Baxter with his 4th heads to the bench. Holden out also. Martisic is in.
And here's why I thought that it would have been smart to go to Baxter down and low against Duke. Boozer with 4 fouls. You want him out of the game if you're Maryland, because he is the low post offensive threat for Duke.
Boozer hits 2, and Duke leads by 1.
They keep going to Morris.
And he has it stripped away by the freshman. Duhan.
Looking for Williams. Williams now has a situation where Miller's on him, and he knows Miller can't handle him, so he gets a clear out.
He just keeps driving. This time kicks it out. Up pass, Duhan able to field it with ease.
Still has Miller.
Challenges with a three. That's tapped in, but it's Nate James. That's the one that's identical to the ACC game against Maryland.
I'm really surprised that time that Duke got by with one there, because Williams normally would drive on Miller, and Gary Williams saying that ball was in the cylinder, no call.
He wanted basket interference. Did he have a right to argue? No, it's outside.
Good touch.
Welcome back, Mr. Lewis. Anything to declare?
Oh, yeah. Did you ever have to make a phone call from a foreign country? You can't use your cell phone because it won't work. You can't call from your hotel room because they charge up the wazoo. You know how many drachma it takes to make a conference call? I got square coins. I got round coins. I got coins with holes in them. You want them? Take them. Take them all. Anybody want coins? Square coins? Round coins? They're useless.
Now there's a phone that does work around the world. The Nextel i2000. Nextel. More ways than anyone to communicate with everyone.
Both teams in the double bonus. 2 free throws the rest of the way. Maryland ball down 3.
Down 3, don't look for 3. Go to Baxter inside against Boozer. Baxter not looking for the ball inside. He's got to make himself available.
Look out. What a collision.
Ooh.
Wow. And their bodies are still tangled.
Duhan just wants to lay there for a while. Let's see. And Blake is asking him to get his body off him. Boy, both of these guys down. And
wow, that reminded me of Naharat Cleaves.
Now that one was jaw to jaw. This one was up in the air, and you don't have any protection on the way down. Mike Krzyzewski right over.
And Blake has walked it off. Duhan still dazed.
It looks like he's talking, though, to the trainer. We'll see it right here.
Oh, back of his head.
Snapping of the head is what got him. Well, he got elbow, then he got the head. He got a little bit of both.